And we are live. Forgive me, gaming fathers, I have sinned. I reached out to a scalper, but I was redeemed, I was saved by our better half, and then I was even rewarded by being granted a next gen console, which we will discuss in this episode. The adult beverages are poor, the kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
So sorry, everybody. I strayed from the path.
You
I was
did.
led astray. The FOMO was real. The the senses were lost, and I had contacted a scalper.
Oh, Trevor. Oh my gosh.
I know. So they
Stop the show. That's it. Back it up.
handed your gaming dad card. You're part of the problem now. So the now it was for a Xbox Series X. So or sorry S. Xbox Series S of the consoles. That's the honestly is really the one that has pulled me in the most.
Okay.
I think as far as if everything was just available in stores, I feel like the current surge had been over. I think I probably would have just got the new PlayStation. I'm kind of in PlayStation land now. Anyways, it would make sense. But as far as this current state of there's no consoles available anywhere, if you had to get one, the S I think for me was just it's lower cost, it's slightly more available. I was thinking of it. And like don't be searching marketplaces unless you really want to be buying something because you'll
Yep.
find it. You'll find something to buy. And lo and behold, like not too far away from me, call it like 30, 40 minutes away, was an Xbox Series S.
Wow.
Xbox Series S with two controllers for 450 or $500. It was at cost. So this wasn't some gross tripling of the price. This wasn't like a for sale $2,000 type of garbage.
Okay.
It was for the exact price. But I had to go and get it, and it was still I need to pick up like a big wad of money, and I'm gonna go meet this person. This comes after on this very show where we discussed, hey, there's all these robberies happening where
Yeah.
people are showing up with big batches of money. But I thought I was clever. Okay, I'll just we'll do it at a coffee shop and yammer yammer yammer. There's a pandemic going on too, by the way.
Mask up. Go get your system.
So so I was all poised to do it, and it's kind of like a classic marriage wisdom I'd heard before, where it's like if you can't explain to your wife what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it. So, because in fact, when I did explain this to my wife, it's like, yeah, like I was able to find this console, discuss how I wanted it, and it's used those. So I'm just gonna go drive for a bit and pick it up, and just immediately that like her drop, like, oh, she's not buying this. This is
Right.
She's like, why would you drive that far and you're gonna show up with money? And I heard like from online, you should probably just wait for these things. And like you're not gonna have a receipt if something breaks. And like there's been like robberies lately.
You know,
And she
she's listening to our podcast.
I
She's listening
know.
to our words, and she's like, you know what? I think somebody said this, right?
Won't your podcast listeners be really disappointed in you? And just like bam, bam, bam. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. It was good. It was really sobering because she's called me out. Like it was perfect, right? Where it's like you're right. Like I got caught up. It seemed like it really was a decent deal in so much as like it's just the cost of it I was able to get it, and thus far it had been like unavailable. So it's like okay, fine. But cooler has prevailed. The wisdom of my better half. So we recontacted the seller. I kind of
You
uh,
flaked.
I cowered a bit on him in the sense that I didn't want to do follow ups or like expose. It's like, hey, just talk to my wife quickly. It turns out she got me one for Christmas, so they're not interested in this. Thanks, anyways.
So
I thought
disappointing.
I know it'd be the cleanest way to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
Um, and there it was. So it's just like, well, here's what it is. I will at some point check for online sales, or just what, probably not till next year.
Right.
Next year, middle of the year, so be it.
Yep.
I happen upon Twitter, not not 30 minutes later, and the Mobile Syrup, a site up here in Canada, posts out like, oh, Amazon has the Xbox Series X in stock. I was like, interesting. Okay, that's not the one I want, but it honestly, honestly was just for curiosity's sake. I was not going to buy an Xbox Series X. If I was going to spend that much, I would have gone PlayStation. But I was still just curious. Okay, click on the link, check it there. Out of stock. Of course, it's out of stock. I'm on Amazon. I click on the S version though, in stock. Add to cart. I'm like,
Mm,
okay. I check. I quickly go up and check the link and make sure there's a little security icon. Okay, this is
yeah,
Amazon, right? Okay,
right.
I'm not just in the American site, right? Add to cart. Next step, it's like, okay, like which credit card we gonna ship it? I'm like, is this legit? Have I? Is this real? Is this? Do I have it?
Yeah.
Hit buy. It's like, hey, thanks for ordering. It'll be delivered on such and such date. And there's just that moment of like, is that real? That happened? I got it. We good?
You're just, am I dreaming? No, this isn't
Is that
right.
right?
Okay.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you had the same type of
I'm
surprise or
on
shock
Amazon.
when
Like
yours
this
got
is,
in your cart. Like, what were you triple checking the links? Like, were you worried about it was a scalper or sorry, like an illegitimate site? Like, what was going through your head when you had it in your cart?
it was more about like just buyer's remorse because I was like running through it, and then I clicked it and it said done, and I'm like, wow, that was a lot of money.
Look at all those zeros.
There's tax. That tax is killer. I don't know. Like
Oh,
that's
that
yeah. So it wasn't so much about like am I on Walmart.ca instead of Walmart, but it was
hmm.
more about oh my god, that was a lot of money at once.
So there was so I went from the deepest depths of kind of patheticness where okay, like I'm dealing with scalpers, like which
Yeah.
we've riled against them so many, and here I am almost peddling to it. Awful. Saved by my wife. Okay, I'll just wait. Oh, Amazon. Oh,
Yeah.
it's in the shop. And then for those watching the video at home, like dun 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 dun, there it is. It's in my
That's
hands.
amazing.
The
That's
best part too,
crazy.
the best part. So for Jeff, I'm trying to get like, so look at the size of this thing. Like, what's your impression, given the massive tank-like monolith that is your Xbox? Like, I'll
I
hold up
just
like a iPhone here.
I
Look at
just
like, look
yeah,
how
I don't know.
small this is.
I think it's too small. It's just
I kind of got that
unreasonably
thought.
small.
Unnecessarily small.
Yeah.
You could have felt if you made it just a bit bigger, you could have had a few more teraflops.
I mean, you could throw that thing and it would be just like a frisbee. Just
It feels physically it's really underwhelming. Like it's I think of all the consoles I do think it's the most beautiful. I really like the aesthetics of it compared to any of the other ones and just the portability. Like I've been able to kind of drag this around the house.
yeah.
So, I brought it to the bedroom for one occasion. I had it downstairs for a while for some faster internet speeds. Just it's fairly easy just to boot around because it's just so small.
I think you're missing out though on the weight of the PS5 because I can plug in those cables and that console does not shift. You know how
Yeah,
you like have to hold a console as you plug things in? Nope, this thing is
not
a
this one.
tank.
It's like I couldn't.
That one, like that one, a light breeze will make it fly off the shelf. I don't know.
My kid wasn't putting on his boots, so I just tipped it on top of him, and it pinned him down to the floor while he put his boots on.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so yeah, so I'll walk you through it. Like what was more interesting. So you talked about remorse
Yeah,
upon looking at your card and the number of zeros attached to the price.
that's a lot.
My remorse honestly came when I was first playing it, first couple games.
Oh, really?
It it was a really weird sense because I turned it on. Like I was super happy to get it. I was so excited to receive it. I'm watching the delivery date, um, anticipation of kind of jumping into the next gen, and then it arrives. I hook it up and I'm playing it, and it's just games. Like it's these are very much the same games.
Mm,
What I related to is like you can remember um, Nintendo to Super Nintendo, Super Nintendo to PlayStation, or like if you want N64,
yeah.
and then that to your PS3 to your PS4. Like you had those. You turn the thing on with that next gen title, and there's just that explosion, that disbelief. Oh my God, look at this!
Yeah.
Right. And I even hearing you describe Miles Morales, which I think you'd agree to, there was that next gen moment, Would you say you kind of had that?
Definitely with Miles Morales and well, more Demon Souls too. Just blown away. Just the frames and the lighting. Just
Yeah.
love it. Yes,
So
absolutely. I had that moment though. Yes.
okay. So with this, that didn't happen. That moment didn't happen. I honestly think it'd be a bit of an issue with the X as well, but with the S, like there really was no launch titles. I think Xbox really suffered in not having Halo ready
Absolutely. 100%. Yep.
because there really is not the Xbox next gen title. Because even some of the ones that exist, it's like Watch Dogs Legion, which is like I could have played that on PC.
Yep.
There's I guess
Valhalla.
Valhalla. Valhalla maybe I could have done, but I would have been dropping 60 games. I was more interested in the Game Pass stuff, and then specifically Game Pass wasn't going to quite be there. Now there was like Will o' the Wisps, but because it's kind of an illustration style, it's like, well, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, of course, but my PS4 definitely, I feel, my PS4 Pro could have rendered the same.
Right.
So here I am with this next console, having gone through that self-inflicted awful journey as far as
Mm.
Scalper's waiting, it shows up, and I'm looking at these things like, oh, these are kind of just the games I had,
Okay.
right? And like, oof. So that was so there was a letdown.
Okay.
But there is a redemption there. All of a sudden, so I'll say what alleviated it a little bit was I was playing um, Horizon.
Okay.
So Forza Horizon. Again,
Yep.
that's an old console, but an old gen title. But to see it is optimized for the next generation, and seeing it on the console, gorgeous. Like that was finally a bit of a, oh wow, look at this.
Okay.
But more to the point was how quickly I got into the game.
Yes. Okay.
So now, firstly, like I adore the Game Pass, and I've been a big proponent of it here. The ability to just go through all these, I can play this game, I can grab this game, I can grab this game. So the next thing, so I'm downloading Destiny, Destiny for Xbox. It has a whole new expansion as well.
Okay.
Destiny just launched an expansion that came out for this one, so I get Horizon, I get Destiny, I get um,
Your backlog. Your
yeah,
backlog. Your backlog.
NHL 20. I got the Fight Night, the old
Okay.
boxing game, Skate 3, just like bam, 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 bam. Ori, Will of the Wisps, I'd played. And here's what really solidified it for me. So again, Horizon, a couple moments of like, oh wow, this next gen looks great. But what's amazing is like, okay, that loaded up in like 15 seconds. Hop out of that, go over to NHL. 5 seconds, I'm into a new. I'm on the ice playing another game. Play, play, play. I'm gonna play Ori. That was kind of interesting. Out
Yep.
over to Ori, like 10, 20 seconds. I'm in the game playing that thing. Like these quick resume things. What it reminded me of, and this is not a gaming moment I've had, and I think it's one that I think gaming dads would want to share with their kids, which has probably been missing for quite some time. Is if you remember with like let's say the Super Nintendo, where your gaming afternoon was you and like 10 cartridges, 6 cartridges.
Yeah. Yeah.
Slam, slam. Okay, I'll play this game. Take it out. Okay, another cartridge. Play, play, play. That ability to just like quickly jump into the games. Like your gaming session isn't, well, I have, as my dad time is limited, I have like this 1 hour I'm going to be able to play a game. So I'm going to play Destiny or I'm going to play Miles Morales. You know what I mean? Like you're so drilled down into that one thing. But now with this new quick load reality that we live in, it's just like you get this smorgasbord, you get all this one, and especially paired with the new streaming or the new Game Pass type
Yep.
software, you're able to just like sample, to like jump in all these games. So
Yep.
now between a few kind of next gen titles that I got to experience, plus this ability, this kind of joy as far as jumping between games, like I've become elated. I'm absolutely adoring this thing.
Yeah.
So
It's
that,
it's it. That's a big dad time saver for me. And
mm,
people can point to like rest mode. Like we've had rest mode before, where you can kind of have just a game, go to sleep, and then boot up, and you're in. Right? Like PS4 had that. I'm sure Xbox had that. But when your kids aren't allowed, when they're allowed on the system, they close your game and go into their game. So then you have to wait for that initial load screen, right, to get back into it. Not to mention the loads in between whatever worlds there are,
mm,
or that stuff, right? So just speeding all that up so much easier to get into a game. I actually gamed right before we got on here. And seriously, it's
Is that
no
way?
word
Hold
of a
on.
lie.
You said I need 5 more minutes.
Well, it's because I
Were
was
you,
in a game.
you son of a? That is such a dad game move. I gotta respect it. I'm upset, but I gotta respect it.
Yeah. It's Demon Souls, so
Oh, of
I was
course.
in a zone, man. I had to finish that off, but yes, it was 5 more minutes because I didn't set up in time.
Yeah.
So, but like literally, I don't know if anybody else experiences it, but you kind of have to plan out your gaming time, right? Where I think
Yep.
now it's just more freedom. So I did it within half an hour. Half an hour, I got a good play session in, and I felt like satisfied. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for
whereas
sure.
before you're like, oh my god, I don't want to load up that game. It takes so long. I don't have time for that. I kind of want to just zone out and play something that I can quickly get into, right? So I'm
Yeah.
totally with you on that. That next gen load time and quick resume and all that stuff, beauty, love it. Dads are
Mm.
designing these systems, right?
That's
They're
what.
in the engineering department. That's where they are now.
See, and I think that's where that kind of plays into what I was talking about as far as like sampling a bunch of games. Because where before I said like, okay, I have an hour, so I'm gonna play,
Right.
Demon Souls, and that's it. Because by the time you load two worlds, that's like half your time. But now, like, you can have that half-hour session. You've played a ton, and by the time it's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go play a match of hockey,
Yep.
or like, and the thing is, like, I I forgot how much I love hockey games.
Oh yeah.
Like, I adore them, right? Like, it's a great time. Now, two problems: a, they're $80 a shot usually, which is like,
Shot. I like it.
oh, nice. Man, I got dad puns when I don't even notice I got dad puns.
Yep.
It's so ingrained into me. But yeah. So, firstly, just how they're quite expensive, and then just again, like as far as like my gaming time is precious, and I'm usually trying to do something like Horizon Zero Dawn, so I can't
Right.
really, you're sort of into a bigger match as opposed to this little one. So, man, just be able to like hit all these like games so quickly. It seems like we're kind of on the same one. Have you been jumping between games with that, or just
Um,
enjoying the quick load?
Actually, jumping in between games is really. I've taken advantage of a lot of those activity cards, which I know isn't. I didn't speak very highly of them before, but to jump into a world where I want to be and kind of
Mm-hmm.
trophy hunt just for fun, those activity cards quick loads me right where I need to be if I've reached that point in the game and I'm done. Like, that's it. I'm done. I don't have to go through a menu. I don't have to go get my character load or get the right game save and see where I left off. And it's done. It's perfect. And I've had that with both my kids. Kind of like they have their own profile set up, but they use that feature all the time. Is just the quick load into where they need to be, and then they're off and they're good. So my only worry is that, like, are we making more people like like kind of like twitchy, like I need it now? Like before it was like, Game Pass, all these games, and PlayStation Now, all these games, and now it's just instant gratification to the nth degree. It's just bananas.
I like the
But
yeah, the game cards and like the quick load of it, like just adore it.
yeah.
The I'll say one thing just to, you mentioned like twitchiness and all that stuff. I'll say the one thing that I was in playing Destiny, the load time in game, not only is it like quick to boot up, but like getting into the various worlds is unbelievably fast.
Yeah.
And my flow was usually, okay, like I'm gonna go over to this world now and do some missions. Hit load, yes, okay. Take out my phone
Yeah.
because I have a minute
Yeah, right. Text or look something up.
exactly to blow. And that, so what was happening is because I'm still used to, I'm trained to doing it. I would hit the level. It's like, okay, let's play that level. Bring up my phone, and before I unlock it, I'm playing. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't have any time to look at my phone because this thing loaded so fast.
Yeah.
So just a man, I
Love it.
can't. I'm telling you, I think the PS5, I think, benefits from that true next gen title library. You're going to play Miles Morales and you can just see, I'm here, I've arrived, I'm in the next gen. The Xbox Series S for sure is missing that, and I think probably Xbox in general until they get some of the new titles next year.
Mm-hmm.
But no matter where you land, the this quick play ability is just, sorry for the pun, but like game changing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're gonna be able to play so many more games. I am so excited for this console. To the point now, it's kind of hard for me to go back to my PlayStation. It
Yeah.
feels. I don't know if you've tried to go back to your PlayStation PS4 because it.
I yeah, I have, and I don't like the sound, and I don't like the loading. I I love the silence. That's another one to this like dad next gen experience because the sound I can hear myself think. It's quiet. I'm not waking anybody.
Hmm,
Like the fans are crazy, so I can't go back to PS4, and even the menu is not as snappy. And I know it's
hmm.
been 7 years, but I can't load up a game. I can't. I don't want to find a disc. I love digital. I don't want to do discs anymore. Digital is my that's my route. That's my path.
That's
So,
good. It's a small note. The on the Xbox, there's a setting to turn off opening beep.
oh,
Did you know?
see, that's the only thing I asked for, and PlayStation did not deliver. Just don't give me the beep. It's the exact same beep. Make it lower in volume. That's all I ask, or off.
Now that now that's a good transition because what I'm curious about is now for myself, my kids have not touched this. And it's not very purposeful. It's like
Yeah.
my only one of my sons is playing games right now, and he's just so deep into the Switch games we have. Loves Smash, loves the Lego games we have for it, Luigi's Mansion. So he's fully in there. Like
Right.
he's got so much to go through. He'll be good for a while. So it's not like I'm necessarily hiding it from him.
Yeah.
I'll say that I am given the option. If he was really banging to play on it right now, I'd probably push him back a little bit. Like I want
Right.
to enjoy it. So I will say I'm being a bit dad selfish.
Okay.
Um, how have you been handling that as far as the new consoles in your house? You have kids who adore games. Like, are you? I don't think you've been selfish. I think you're sharing it with them. But how's that feeling? Like, what's up with like? How are you
You.
managing that?
Yeah, you can't really hide this behemoth of a
Yeah, it's like,
PlayStation. So
Dad, what's that? It's a new refrigerator,
yeah, don't
buddy.
worry
Just
about
go
it.
go back to your homework.
That's right. I have been sharing, and it's very hard because it is a new console. It's a lot of money. Um, they're they're used to the PS4, so the PS4 can take, I don't know, it seems a little bit more less of value. Like I could replace it if it broke. Anyway, so we do have a routine that's in place for PlayStation 5, and that's you need to.
Do you have this written down somewhere where they can like check off the list before they?
No, but we practiced because if they don't do it, they don't get to play. So like I am like
Wow.
adamant. You sit down on the couch because they jump around, right? Can't be jumping around in front of the thing. You wash your hands before you even think about gaming because these are white controllers. And with the
Uh,
PlayStation 4, there's blue and black and dark colors. Camo, I think I have one.
those
Um,
those beautiful dirt hiding colors.
right. And there's grip on the end of, or the backside of the PS5 controller. So they will pick up anything up. Wash your hands, sit on the couch, and you don't fight in front of it, right? Like those are the three rules. If they follow that, that's fine. So they have followed that to a T because they know if they don't game. And they I have shared it so much that my one son, who's 7, has beaten Miles Morales. So he's on New Game Plus.
Wow.
So that is a huge dad proud moment.
That's unbelievable, man. It's a fairly advanced game too. That's
It
amazing.
is. Yeah, and he's going for all like the collectibles and stuff. He's got all the costumes and he's used the in-game help. And I know I talked about this last episode, but any questions he has, he knows how to get to the help and pin it to the side and help him through some of the missions where it might be a little bit more. Some of them are like find this sound effect in the world, and it's just he doesn't quite understand it, so he doesn't know
Hmm.
what he needs to do. But this game help, I'm not around because I'm usually they had a PD day this past week, so I'm at work in the basement, and he just used the in-game help, did it himself, fine,
Wow.
perfect, loved it. So
Unbelievable,
it's been
man.
a journey.
Geez, to beat that big of a title is like stunning. What an amazing launch title. Like that's like it. It's so bad with the Xbox that didn't have something as marquee as Miles Morales to show off the new system.
Yeah, they just need like it's I would say family friendly. I think Spider-Man's pretty family friendly. Like there's fighting in it, so take your pick. But they just needed that kind of everybody gather around the couch kind of game, and
Hmm.
allow your kids to kind of go at it. Ori would have been a good one if it was like if that came out now, like if that was their launch title, if they
Hmm.
delayed or whatever, that would have been a good one. But anyway, it's been a big achievement for him. He can't go back to PS4 either because he doesn't have that game help. And he says he says that it's too slow, and I don't know what he means by that. But he's played Rocket League on the PS5 and then Rocket League on the PS4, and he notices. So
Oh
I've
yeah,
raised somebody that is going to notice those details.
especially for a kid though too. God, those moments in between, you'd have all that kid bubbled excitement about playing a game,
Yeah.
and you got to wait for a minute while it loads, which is fine because like back when that's required, okay, I got to pay the price. But now that you know this other new shiny refrigerator that
Right.
plays games faster,
It's available. Yeah.
oh geez, I could play this in like 10 seconds. Like I doubled the gaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be hard for anyone to go back. Jeez, yeah, what a the this is sorry. This is entirely side tangent. There's a question if PlayStation has this or not. One thing I did notice was, and I think it could be good for gaming dads. Uh, so with something like Destiny, for instance, I noticed in Horizon, some other ones, there's Xbox has an official game page where inside of the console, it's sort of the hub for that game, and you can
Mhm.
post, "Hey, in Destiny, I need a team of 4 people to do this raid. I need to do this or that. Hey, looking for a party to do this." Part of it. So it's kind of like an official clubhouse, fan house, whatever you want to call it. And you can actually post up, hey, I'm looking for a party to do this or that. Especially good for something like Destiny, where they have raids and you need like 6 people or whatever.
Right.
Does PlayStation have it? I've never seen it.
Well, right now in their new UI, they have like every game is its own game page, but I only have ever seen like here's your activity cards, your trophies, like the news feed kind of stuff, and then like Twitch streams. So I don't
Mm,
know if it might be under there's a community tab, which I'm in my single player game, so I do my own
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But maybe it's over there. But it would be nice to have within the game, like so you can just kind of follow that, right?
yeah. Time for Trevor to Google something live on air.
It's the best kind of Google.
PS5 game community tab. Let's try UI. Let's see. Trophies, shared load times, UI reveal. If a gaming dad knows the answer to this, let us know. Seems like it might exist, but I'm not sure that it was.
Like I
I just,
could boot it up and it would only take 5 seconds.
yeah, yeah, exactly. It'd be so quick. These systems are so quick and fast. Oh, yeah. So as I said, it was an interesting journey for myself, where again, like it was just the being called, saved from my own stupidity in talking to a scalper, getting it legit, receiving it, being disappointed in it, which that's an awful feeling, especially after you kind of drop. Now that's not as much as a PlayStation, but it's not inconsequential.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that disappointment, but then understanding what it is and just, I'm telling you, it's that feeling from just laying on the floor on a Saturday afternoon and having 10 cartridges and just play, and enabling me
Yeah.
to play more with so much less time. Like the very much created by, as you said, consoles created by dads. It seems,
I think that's a good slogan to go by.
but consoles by dads for
By
dads.
dads for dads, that's just what it is. So, and people understand it. They know. So
They would, dads would know. Dads would know.
that's right.
Okay. Now, gaming dads out there, have you had similar experiences? I really want to know if that disappointment thing or my feeling specifically with the S, maybe if I got the X, it would have been different. But again, it just didn't feel next gen. Is that just me? Did I misread it? Has any gaming dads out there had the same with the PS5? Did you kind of have a bit of a come to a sad realization moment for it? We'd absolutely adore to hear it and get some reactions on air. So you can reach out to us. We'd love to include that in the next show. But everyone, that will wrap it up for this week. Thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you want to reach out to us and leave us a story or contacts for anything else, gaming questions, dad-related tips or tricks, you can find us at our website, newdadgaming.com. If you'd like to subscribe to the podcast, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and any other major podcasting networks. We'd really appreciate ratings and comments. That helps greatly with the show as we try to grow and reach out to more gaming dads. So until next week, my name is Trevor. I'm about to go fire up the old Xbox Series S, which will load in so little time indeed. And I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I will probably boot up another game of Demon Souls and get back into it before I have to go to bed. And I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Amazing. We'll see you next week.